Hello, my darlings. Mumsy here again, and I'm a little bit concerned for Paul today because he's got all excited about thunking and being a thunker. I think that's what he said. And he's going on the width of a thought. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe if you come and sit on the mat with all of us, have your glass of milk, we'll do the thunking that he's talking about. Oh well, let's just have a listen. Bye-bye now, boys and girls.
Personal development, unplugged. Hey, I have a conundrum for us all. Well, for the four of us. That revolves around deep thinking, deep work by a guy whose surname I can't remember, but it's Cal somebody. Great book about how you do deep work. But I hear so many people talking about, oh, you're a deep thinker, or this person's a deep thinker. And I started a question. Well, how deep is deep? Because, if you do a little bit of thinking, does that mean you're not deep thinking? Because you haven't gone deep enough? Or because you've put yourself away in a room for 4 hours, does that mean you've gone really deep? Maybe you've gone too deep. Is there a too deep? Is there a too shallow? But also, I always thought, in my mind, well, how wide is deep thinking? How wide? Now, what is the width of a deep thinker? Well, not the thinker, the person, but the thought. You see, is it time? Is the width time? So if you want to go deep for a long time, does that mean you're a real deep thinker? And I thought to myself, some of it's BS in the way that it's very condescending, I think, to the people who think, but don't necessarily go to that type of depth or length. But isn't it really about the quality of our thought? Because if you can think for just a few seconds and have quality thoughts, that to me is, I've got air quotes coming, here they are, deep thinking. Because, that's it, isn't it? It's the quality. And I know there's going to be times when to get the muscle going for thinking, thinking muscle, get it expanding and contracting and getting bigger and better and stretched and things all like that as we do in the gym, then you have to do lots of it. Well, quite a bit. But like going to the gym, you don't go to the gym for 5 hours on the run and then go, that's me done. I'm a deep gymmer. If that's such a deep gymming new trend. But don't you start off slowly and you stretch those muscles gently, but you do stretch them each and every time. Now, isn't that deep thinking in a way that we start, but we look for quality of our thoughts and then we develop the quality of our thoughts and then we expand them by sharing them. And then we share them into that generative field of learning that I keep banging on about. We share them with other people, basically. We share them with every soul we can find who's going to be interested, who may, in their quality thinking, their response, may give you something more back to add to your thoughts, which will allow you to think even better, to make judgments, to come up with ideas and take those ideas and use them in wonderful shapes and forms, which will allow you to grow. And that to me is what I call deep thinking. Certainly that's the result of deep thinking. But was getting hung up, you see. This is where it all comes from. It's me. It's all about me. In the way that I felt I wanted to think and I wanted to be a deep thinker and I wanted to do deep work. But I never really felt that I was doing it because I wasn't locking myself away for a few hours at a time. But I was taking time out to think. And sometimes it was just a few minutes. Sometimes it was longer. I get my Jenny journal, my mind map, and I started talking to myself. And that's what I thought that's my deep thinking. I'm getting into the habit of thinking out loud inside sometimes, creating different scenarios on the page, consequences, then ideas forming. I've even got a couple of I start on one of my, I've got loads of them, by the way. The back is my ideas pages. So every time I get an idea that I want to develop, bang, back to the book, or the back of the book, new clean page, heading. So I know when I want to do some thinking, some deep thinking, and I have some thickness, some width of thinking time, I just go to the back of the book and start developing things. Or I just get my Jenny journal, open it up to a clean pair of pages, and I just mind map and think and note. And maybe that to me is what deep thinkers do, but some of them just do it longer and deeper. But I wonder what the quality is. I'm happy at the moment. I think now, having spoken out loud to you, that if I continue to do this way of stretching myself and being open, and I think that's the thing about this deep thinking malarkey. It's a malarkey, isn't it? What the hell was that? It's that process of allowing yourself to use all your senses, to experience your intuition, your inner knowledge, re-remembering things and developing things. So if you were concerned, like I used to be concerned, and I'm no longer concerned of what a deep thinker is or can I do it, well, we can. And so we just need to take a little bit of time and go to our mental gymnasium and start, pay your dues, do your monthly thing and get in there every other day and stretch those muscles and then relax. I hope some of that made sense. It did to me, and I'm pleased I spoke about it. And hopefully that will give you some little enthusiasm, motivation to get your Jenny journal out and become a deep thinker like what I am. Enjoy every heartbeat and let's get thinking and thunking together. Speak to you real soon. Bye-bye now. Oh, just before I go, just please remember, if any of this makes sense and you feel that you've enjoyed it, I'd love you to subscribe. There's so many ways you can do it. Ideally, I would go through to iTunes because I find that easier. It's got subscribe buttons and you can get the whole feed and go everywhere, and they do it on all sorts of devices. But if not, go to paulclough.co.uk/subscribe and it'll take you straight to a page of information. And the other thing I just wanted to remind you was I've got my paulcloughonline.com website. It's got a brand new program about letting go of anxiety, and the majority of it is it's free. So what have you got to lose other than your anxiety? I think it's great fun, and there'll be more and more things, and sometimes I'll be giving some surprise hypnosis tracks away for the people who have had a look at it and signed up. So yeah, do remember that. Have more fun than you can stand, and I'll speak to you real soon. Bye bye now. Personal development, unplugged.